Contractors are selling these upgrades as must-haves right now. Most of them are not worth the money. 10 expensive garage upgrades that are not worth it. Starting with number 10. Number 10. A full custom cabinet system before you know how you use the space. Custom garage cabinets look incredible. Floor-to-ceiling storage, matching finishes, built-in workbench, everything coordinated and clean. Walk into any showroom, and the display will convince you this is exactly what your garage needs. The problem is not the cabinets. The problem is the timing. Here is what most people skip entirely. They buy the full custom system before they have spent any real time understanding how they actually move around and use their garage. The cabinet layout gets designed around a showroom floor plan rather than around the real habits of the household. I walked through a garage recently where the homeowner had spent over $8,000 on a full custom cabinet installation 12 months earlier. The cabinets were beautifully made, but 3 of the 8 units were essentially empty because the items they were supposed to store, long-handled tools, large seasonal equipment, oversized boxes, simply did not fit the cabinet dimensions. The most used items in the garage were still sitting on a folding table near the door because accessing the cabinets required moving around a workbench positioned in completely the wrong place for how this particular homeowner worked. Spend 3 months using your garage as it is before buying anything custom. Know where you naturally reach, where you put things down, where you walk most. Then design the storage around that reality. A modular system bought in stages, as you understand the space, will almost always outperform a custom installation bought all at once based on a showroom visit. Number 9 looks like a smart long-term investment on paper and costs far more to maintain than the sales conversation ever mentions. Number 9. An elaborate built-in workbench system. A built-in workbench is one of the most appealing upgrades in any garage. Solid timber top, integrated power strip, tool storage underneath, cabinets above, everything built to measure and fixed permanently to the wall. And for some households, it is genuinely the right investment. Here is the problem. A built-in workbench locks the entire wall it occupies permanently. Once it is in, it is in. If you later decide you need that wall for vehicle storage, for a different layout, for a gym setup, or simply because your needs changed, you're either living with something that no longer works or paying to have it removed and the wall made good again. I worked with a homeowner who had a high-end built-in workbench installed 2 years before he sold the house. When the property went on the market, 3 out of 4 buyers wanted it removed before they would complete. It was a bespoke unit that did not suit their intended use of the space. He ended up paying for removal and wall reinstatement at a cost that wiped out almost everything he had originally spent on the installation. A high-quality freestanding workbench on heavy-duty locking casters does everything a built-in does. It is just as solid when the casters are locked. It can be repositioned when your needs change. And it does not reduce your options at the point of sale. Spend the money on a better freestanding bench rather than a permanent installation that commits you to one layout forever. Number 8 is one of the most heavily marketed garage upgrades available right now. And the version most people buy is the one that fails the fastest. Number 8. A cheap garage floor coating installed as a DIY weekend job. A garage floor coating transforms the look of a space more dramatically than almost anything else you can do. That high-gloss finish reflects light, makes the floor easy to clean, and gives the garage a finish quality that bare concrete never achieves. Which is exactly why so many people rush into it on a Saturday morning with a kit from the hardware store. Here is what the kit instructions do not make clear enough. The preparation matters more than the product, by a significant margin. Moisture testing, surface grinding or acid etching, crack repair, thorough degreasing. Skip any one of these steps and the coating will fail. Not might fail, will fail, usually within 6 months. I was called to assess a garage floor that had been coated 8 months earlier. The homeowner had followed the kit instructions, mopped the floor, let it dry, and applied the product over a weekend. It looked perfect for 4 months. Then sections near the walls started lifting. Then a large central patch bubbled up and peeled. By the time I arrived, roughly 40% of the coating had failed. The concrete had never been tested for moisture. There was moisture migrating up through the slab. invisible, undetectable without a proper test, and the coating had no bond beneath those sections. The floor had to be stripped and started over. A professional floor coating installation, proper preparation, commercial-grade product, moisture-tolerant system costs significantly more than a DIY kit. But it lasts. The DIY kit costs less and often needs redoing completely within a year. Do it properly once or budget to do it twice. Number 7 is sold as a safety upgrade and a smart use of overhead space, and it becomes a genuine hazard when one thing gets overlooked at installation. Number 7. Overhead storage platforms bought for capacity rather than safety. Overhead storage is one of the best ideas in garage design. Most garages have significant and used volume above head height, and ceiling platforms reclaim all of that space for seasonal storage, equipment, and everything that does not need daily access. When it is installed correctly, it works beautifully and lasts for years. Here is what most people do not find out until after something goes wrong. Ceiling platforms sold at retail are rated to a specific load capacity, usually stated prominently on the packaging. What is not stated prominently is that this rating only applies when the platform is anchored into structural joists, not into drywall. And most residential garage ceilings have significant sections where the drywall runs between joists. A platform fastened into drywall rather than timber is not carrying the rated load safely, regardless of what the label says. I have personally seen a ceiling platform collapse onto a vehicle parked directly underneath it because 3 of the 4 anchor points had missed the joists entirely and were fixed only into the drywall. The platform had held for 8 months before the cumulative weight caused the fixings to pull through. The vehicle damage was significant. The family was fortunate that no one was standing in the garage at the time. Locate every joist before a single screw goes in. Use the correct lag bolts rated for the load, and stay well below the stated maximum capacity. Treat it as a ceiling, not a target. A platform correctly anchored into structural timber is one of the best garage investments available. The same platform incorrectly fixed into drywall is a safety liability from the day it goes up. Number 6 is an upgrade that sounds practical, looks impressive in the showroom, and turns out to be one of the most expensive things to maintain in daily use. Number 6. A full smart garage system. Smart garage technology has expanded significantly in recent years. Automated lighting, app-controlled door openers, sensors that alert your phone when the door is left open, integrated cameras, climate monitors, all of it packaged as a connected ecosystem that manages your garage from anywhere. The technology is genuinely impressive, and for a small number of households with very specific needs, it delivers real value. Here is the reality for most homeowners. Smart garage systems require ongoing maintenance that nobody factors into the purchase decision. Firmware updates that occasionally break functionality. App ecosystems that get discontinued when manufacturers pivot their product lines. Hub devices that need replacing every few years as compatibility standards change. Sensors and cameras that need recalibration after power outages. Wi-Fi connectivity that causes the whole system to fail whenever the router is reset or the broadband provider changes equipment. I worked with a homeowner who had invested over $3,000 in a comprehensive smart garage system 2 years earlier. By the time I visited, 2 of the 5 smart lighting zones had stopped responding to the app because a firmware update had broken compatibility with his hub. The automated door system required a manual override every 3 to 4 weeks for reasons nobody had been able to diagnose. He was spending more time troubleshooting the system than he would have spent simply opening and closing a standard door. A well-placed LED shop light on a manual switch. A reliable automatic door opener from a proven brand. These do the same jobs without the maintenance overhead. Add smart features selectively if there is a specific function that genuinely improves daily use. But buying an integrated smart ecosystem for its own sake almost always delivers more complexity than convenience. Number 5 is where most homeowners spend the most money believing they're making their garage more functional, and end up making it significantly harder to use. Number 5. Too much fixed storage along every wall. More storage sounds like the obvious answer to a disorganized garage. If the garage is cluttered, the instinct is to add storage surfaces along every available wall. Cabinets here, shelving there, a pegboard section, a tool rack, a bike hook system, until every wall has something mounted on it. Here is the problem with filling every wall. Circulation disappears. The garage becomes a space you navigate carefully rather than use freely. Getting to the item you need requires moving something else first. Projects that require spreading out. Anything involving tools, materials, or equipment that needs floor space become difficult to set up because the floor is the only remaining open area, and it is already doing too much work. I redesigned a garage for a homeowner who had systematically installed storage on all 4 walls over 3 years. The individual storage choices were good. The cumulative effect was a space that felt claustrophobic and difficult to work in. He was using it primarily as a place to store things rather than a place to do things. Not because of the items stored, but because the layout had eliminated every sense of openness and ease. We removed 1 full wall of storage, redistributed what was important onto the remaining 3 walls, and created a clear central working zone. The garage immediately felt larger, more usable, and more like a space worth spending time in. Sometimes the most valuable garage upgrade is removing storage, not adding it. Number 4 is an upgrade most garages genuinely need, and almost every homeowner buys the wrong version of. Number 4, a high-pressure air compressor for occasional home use. A compressed air system in the garage looks and feels like a serious upgrade. Professional-grade tool, dedicated outlet, the ability to run air tools, inflate tires, blow out dust, and power accessories that make certain jobs significantly faster. For anyone using air tools regularly, a mechanic, a woodworker, someone who genuinely uses the compressor weekly, it is a worthwhile investment, and the higher the quality, the better. Here is the problem. Most homeowners buy a high-capacity compressor based on what they imagine they might eventually do with it. Then they use it 3 or 4 times a year to inflate bicycle tires and blow dust off the workbench. A large compressor takes significant time to reach working pressure, generates considerable noise during that process, requires regular maintenance, including oil changes and moisture drain cycles, and takes up a meaningful footprint in the garage. For occasional light use, a small portable compressor does everything needed at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the space. I spoke with a homeowner last year who had spent over $800 on a 60-gallon 2-stage compressor based on advice from a salesperson who asked what he planned to do and then recommended the capacity above that. He had used it 4 times in 14 months. It occupied an entire corner of his garage, and he had to work around it every time he needed access to the storage behind it. Match the tool to the actual use, not to the aspirational use. A small portable compressor for occasional home tasks. A larger dedicated unit only if the actual frequency and type of use genuinely justifies it. Number 3 is the most commonly recommended upgrade on every garage renovation list, and it only works if 2 conditions are met that most installations ignore entirely. Number 3, a garage gym setup without climate control. Converting part of the garage into a gym space is one of the most popular home improvement projects right now. Rubber flooring, a rack, some weights, a pull-up bar. The garage becomes a dedicated fitness space without the monthly gym membership cost. For many households, this works extremely well. The key word is many, not all. Here is the problem nobody talks about in the renovation content. A garage gym requires the garage to be a comfortable temperature to actually use. In most uninsulated garages, that means it is too cold to train in from November through March and too hot to train in from June through August, which leaves 4 months of the year when the space is genuinely usable. A gym you avoid for 8 months of the year is not a gym. It is equipment storage. I visited a garage gym setup that had cost the homeowner over $4,000 in flooring, equipment, and storage. He told me he had used it heavily for the first 2 months after installation, occasionally through the following summer, and almost not at all through the winter. The garage had no insulation in the door, single skin walls, and no climate solution. On a cold morning, the space was genuinely too uncomfortable to train in for any significant length of time. Before investing in garage gym equipment, address the climate first. Insulate the door. If the walls are uninsulated, address the worst of it. A small wall-mounted heater or a portable air conditioning unit for summer. The equipment investment only pays back if the space is actually usable year-round. Number 2 costs more than almost any other upgrade on this list, and is the one most likely to be reversed before the property is sold. Number 2, a built-in outdoor kitchen or bar area in the garage. Garage entertainment spaces became extremely popular in recent years. Built-in bar counters, beverage fridges, wine storage, a television mounted on the wall, proper lighting, maybe a sink. The garage becomes an entertainment zone that extends the living space of the house. Done well, for the right household, this is a genuinely enjoyable use of the space. Here is the honest reality that most renovation content glosses over. Built-in entertainment installations in garages are almost always removed before a property is listed for sale. Not because they are poorly made, because they are personal. A buyer standing in your garage seeing a built-in bar counter and a wine fridge sees a conversion that does not work for their intended use of the space, and they price the removal cost into their offer. I have been involved in valuations where a garage that had been converted into an entertainment space was assessed lower than a comparable property with a standard unfinished garage, because the buyer factored in the cost of returning it to a functional garage. A homeowner I worked with had spent $12,000 on a full garage bar and entertainment setup. When the property went to market 2 years later, every buyer either requested removal as a condition or reduced their offer to account for it. He ended up paying for removal before sale at a cost that eliminated any lifestyle enjoyment value the installation had ever delivered. If you want an entertainment space, make it modular and movable. Freestanding units, removable surfaces, portable appliances. Enjoy the space while you live there and take it with you or sell it when you move. Permanent installations in garages rarely add what they cost. Number 1 is not an upgrade at all. It is a mistake made before anything gets purchased, and it is the reason expensive garage renovations so often miss the point entirely. Number 1, upgrading the garage before deciding what the garage is for. This is the one that runs underneath every expensive mistake on this list. Most garage renovation projects start the same way. A budget gets set, a Pinterest board gets created, a contractor gets called, products get chosen, work gets scheduled, money gets spent, and nobody stopped to ask the most important question first. What is this garage actually for? Here is why that question matters more than any other. A garage being used primarily as a workshop needs completely different upgrades than a garage being used primarily for storage. A garage being used as a gym needs different lighting, different flooring, different climate solutions than a garage being used as a home office extension. A garage being used to house one vehicle needs a completely different layout than a garage where the car has not been inside in 3 years. When the purpose is not defined first, the upgrades get chosen based on what looks good rather than what serves the actual use. Which is how homeowners end up with expensive custom cabinets that do not fit their items, built-in workbenches positioned on the wrong wall, smart systems that add complexity to a space that needed simplicity, and gym equipment in a garage that is too cold to use for half the year. I worked with a couple who had budgeted $15,000 for a garage renovation. Before they spent a single dollar, I asked them to describe how the garage was actually used on a typical week. The husband used it for occasional DIY projects. The wife used it to store seasonal items and gardening equipment. Neither of them parked in it. The renovation they had been planning, heavy on custom cabinetry and a built-in workshop, was designed for a household that used the garage very differently from how they actually used it. We redesigned the plan around their actual habits. The budget went further, the result worked better, and nothing was installed that did not directly serve something real. The most important upgrade you can make to any garage is spending 20 minutes being honest about how the space is actually used before anything else gets decided. That conversation costs nothing and changes every decision that follows. Which one of these surprised you most? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this saved you from one expensive mistake, subscribe. There's a lot more coming. I will see you in the next one.